enough with that.
You're gonna miss it.
You know, if you look at the trajectory, it looks like it's going much more north.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it is. Good.
yeah. My husband just got back from his walk and he says, I thought you were doing yoga. We are. Yeah, it's 9:29. Everybody ready? So, yeah, again, I don't have all the props I normally have. So, you know, I'm making do. And if you still obviously have your props, you'll use your normal amount of props. Today, I'm just sitting on a blanket and a block. 21, right? So we usually cross with our least favorite cross on the odd days. Be sure to pull the hamstring back towards the buttock flesh. Let your thighs go down. Use whatever means you have. This is mine. This is what I do the first time. So I just really press those thighs down and kind of come forward. And then I say to myself, can I keep those thighs down? Maybe it's from the action of the outer feet pressing into the floor. Try to keep those thighs down and then lift myself up. Hi, Bob. See what you learn in each stage of getting into this Namaskarasana position. So I learned something coming forward. So my thighs came down. Then I learned something going upright, how I have to keep this back now and roll those shoulders back and lift my chest. Then can I keep all that and bring my hands to my heart? Let those elbows drop as you ascend the chest. Look straight ahead and then remove your glasses. And then I'm just going to ask you today to do the Oms silently on your own, in your head or in your own space, while I do the spotlight video and mute everybody. Do your 3 Oms. If you're done with your Oms, just sit quietly. Keep the trunk ascending, the shoulders back, the face soft, eyes quiet, throat soft. And then bow your head down. Release your hands on your legs. Slowly lift your head up and open your eyes. Okay, if you can, if you are able, sit flat in Swastikasana. If you need a little bit of height, you can have a little bit of height, but maybe just not as much height as you had for the Oms. So let's change our cross. So right leg in first. Lift yourself up. Plot yourself down, ask yourself what's even, you know, I feel so much more on my left side. This is my osteo hip. So what I'm going to do is pull that hamstring towards the buttock and release that buttock out and back. I'll do it on both sides and see if I can feel myself a little bit more even. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to the right first. So you're not really turning, but you're just taking the right arm out to the side, right in line to your hip, okay? And first, just the fingertips are down, okay? So you're kind of walking out. Now, can you get the palm flat and you push on your palm? Take the left arm up, palm up, and go over. And now push on the floor with that bottom arm. Your elbow might bend, that's okay. And turn your chest. So it's a little bit, it's right, really the upper body of Parshva Konasana. Utthita Parshva Konasana. So you're pushing on the floor, bending, allow that elbow to bend, and really lengthen that left side from your hip to your fingertips. Look up beyond your left thumb. Okay, come back up. Right yourself, lift your chest up well. Okay, then the left arm comes out. First, just fingertips. Take your right arm out to the side. Begin to take it over. Let the left elbow bend as you keep pushing against the floor and turn your trunk. Maximum extension of the side of the trunk. Look beyond up to that right thumb. Legs haven't changed. The buttock bones are even. All right, and then release. Okay. Stretch your legs out. Dandasana. Turn sideways. Either feet together or feet apart. If you have stiffness in the lower back, you'll have the feet slightly apart. I pull the thighs back towards the buttock flesh. Dandasana. Okay. Have a strap. Sit in Vajrasana. Vajrasana. So whatever means you need to sit with the buttocks and the heels together, that might mean you need a blanket, right? So I'll be, see, I'm still gonna go like this to show you. So this is my basic Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose. I'm sitting, I'll show you from the side. And I want to pull that hamstring towards the buttock. Pull the hamstring to the buttock. So I really am more on the inner buttock bones. Okay, now I'm going to put, well, I'm going to turn back to face you. Otherwise you won't be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to put my strap on underneath the top of my ankles and the top of my thighs. And I mean really, really tight. Really, really tight. So I'm a nice, tight little package here. Remember, you can put a blanket in between your calves and your thighs in order to make contact with something, buttocks down. Okay, so now I'm going to take my blanket or block, does not matter. I'm going to put, I've just got one of my blankets folded in half this way, and it's right alongside my right hip. I lengthen my ankle and my toes back. I sit up nice and straight. So it's basically taking that seated version of Utthita Parshva Konasana a little bit further. So I first go out. Now remember, I'm not letting this, if I'm going to the right, I'm not letting this top of the thigh, left thigh, come up. So now I come over, and can I get to my forearm to the floor? And I press that down. And then I go. So you keep pushing so that your hips stay level and the thighs remain facing the ceiling. And go. Maximum extension of the side body. Turn your chest. Look up at your left thumb. So it's a little just more extreme, and you've got some extra help keeping that hip down. Okay, so coming back up, keeping the right thigh down now. Start to come over. Maybe you get your elbow, maybe you don't get your elbow at first, that's fine, but you turn your trunk towards the ceiling as much as possible. Then maybe the elbow comes down, this right thigh has to stay down, left arm up and over. Oh. I can push against the bed to keep those thighs even. Turn, turn, turn. So you're stretching your shoulders, your arms, just a really good warm up.
Sheryl, what's
Yes?
the purpose of the strap?
The strap was like this. Can you see?
And what does that do?
It just stays there. It's just binding your thighs to your ankles. And then you're coming over. So I have it this way to show you. You don't do anything with the strap. It just keeps your thighs parallel, running like railroad ties right in front of you. And it keeps that outer thigh down. So you get maximum extension of the side you're going away from. Sorry if I was not clear enough. Okay. I'm gonna put you guys back on gallery view so I can see where you're all at. Okay, any problems with that one? All right, so Bob, yeah, you just did. Do you have a strap on, Bob?
I do, but I don't really feel a whole lot of difference with or without.
Okay, then in Bob's case, he could, I don't think I can do it, but he could go over more, but he's got to keep that hip down and then over. So do you see the Utthita Parshva Konasana here? I mean, if you don't feel something here, Bob, I'm gonna send you to a specialist. Reach that top arm while keeping that, I'll call it the back hip down. Do you feel it now?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I feel it on this side. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you should feel it, maximum extension of both sides. Yeah, and if you
Maybe
don't,
not.
just walk your hand out more. Okay, excellent. All right, now have you're still in your. I took mine off so I could move to the front of the room. I'm going to put my strap back on. But you're going to have to loosen it for your best version of Virasana. Your best version of Virasana. So my best version of Virasana is buttocks on the floor. Yours might be block or whatever. Block or blanket. So Virasana, buttocks as close to the floor as possible. You can have another block nearby. My block is the exact same color of the floor, so it's really kind of hard to see. Okay, so now this is just a little Paryankasana work. Paryankasana. So before we do Paryankasana, let's do Urdhva Badanguliasana. Interlace your palms, turn them upside down, so the palms are facing the ceiling, and put them on top of your head. Pulse a few times without allowing the thumb tips to leave one another. So thumb tips staying together, pulse a few times. Those elbows back, keep your waist back, your ribs back, and now exhale, straighten the arms. Look up and lift your chest. Look up, lift your chest. Fold more firmly there at the wrists and arms back. Okay, then put your hands back on top of your head, change the interlock. Palms up, thumbs together, pulse a few times, roll those shoulders back, move the shoulder blades deeper into your back, and now go up. Look up, lift your chest. Arms back, lift your chest. Elbows straight. Try to sit down on the buttocks. Watch the front ribs that they don't poke forward. Keep them back. Don't, this is not the correct pose, right? Back with those ribs. Up with the front of the trunk. Okay, now have your block nearby. Now you're going to go back for a little Paryankasana work. The first time the block's going to be this height. This, I'll call this the second height. This is the first height. This is the second height. Okay, don't even worry about the block yet, but it's going at the bottom of your shoulder blades. So the top of the block is going to go at the bottom of my shoulder blades. I'm going to hold the edges of the sticky mat and reach. Oh, see, I'm not even on the block. So I'm reaching the trunk over. Maybe, Kathy, you just go to your, yeah, you could do something like that. You've got your bolster back there. You could even just stay like this. Keep your chin tucked. If you've had recent cataract surgery, don't take your head back. Okay, now I'm going to let the shoulder blades rest on that brick. I keep shooting my thighs forward. I keep lifting the tailbone up and in. I grab my elbows and reach the arms overhead. See how you can work in each stage of the pose. Keep shooting those thighs forward. Try, Julie, if you can, to get the feet a little closer to your hips. Don't let the feet roll in. Like you could stay here, Julia, with your hands on your, let's see, I'm going to get rid of this to show you. But here, and keep pushing those heels out, toes in. Heels out, toes in. Lift your tailbone, up and in. Paryankasana. Okay, now quickly, those of you who this is easy for, Sopo, maybe Bob, try it, the rest of you can try the same way, what I'm saying. Now you're gonna go this way. So I sit up straight in Virasana and I begin to arch back. I find the brick right in between my shoulder blades. I keep holding onto my feet. My elbows can push down. That's all you're doing. You don't have to take your arms overhead. You can if it feels okay. Okay, Kathy Beckman, just come up and do a twist now. So twist and twist. While they're doing that, I don't want you to stay too long. Okay. All right, now everybody starts to come up. At first, you need a little bit of a break, so you just come up that much. Walk your hands well forward. It's not Adho Mukha Svanasana just yet. I want you to do a way forward version of Uttanasana. So I tuck my toes, come up. So I hope that you can see. Yeah. So you see that my legs are vertical, ankle, knee, hip. And I'm just up on my fingertips, but the idea is to go forward with the trunk. Forward with the trunk. Turn the inner upper arms out, suck the outer upper arms in, and go forward. So the weight should stay in your legs. No weight in your arms. It's not Adho Mukha Svanasana just yet. Go forward. Go forward. It's just fingertips on the floor going forward. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, stand up. Paschimottanasana, but I'm gonna change the camera. I have a little technical challenges today. Let's see. Yeah. All right, Paschimottanasana, Namaskarasana. So you're just going, I'm gonna ask you, it's a little bit not Paschimottanasana because you're not doing palms flat. I'm gonna ask you to interlace your palms and bring them behind your back. I think everybody should probably stand with their feet just a little bit apart. Okay, plug that tailbone in. Bring the groins forward. I know some of you have been in classes where I do this sumo wrestling move, right? It's kind of an intimate adjustment on yourself, but I pull those groins forward. Now, pull your hands apart. Don't let the interlacing come apart. But as you pull your arms apart, do you feel the broadness here across the collarbones in the chest? Take the arms back, pull, pull, pull. Lift your chest. Lift your chest, look up. Move the shoulder blades deeper into your back, look up. Pull the arms apart. Okay, now watch. I'm keeping that interlock and I'm just bringing the hands over to the left. Do you see that? So my palms are together on the left side of my waist. Okay, now I'm going to turn around and show you. The idea here is to bring the elbows closer together while not allowing the back shoulder, which in this case is your right shoulder, to come forward. So I'll show you from the side. So I bring the elbows together and draw the right shoulder back. Pull your hands slightly forward and draw that right shoulder back. Ah, this is for making our Gomukasanas better. Okay, back to Paschimottanasana Namaskarasana. Pull the arms, the arms apart while keeping the fingers interlaced. Lift your chest, and now hands to the right. So now the left shoulder has to go back as you bring those elbows closer together. Pull the wrists, the hands slightly forward as the left shoulder stays back. Try not to make your trunk go asymmetrical, right? So it wants to do this, but you keep facing forward as you pull that left shoulder back. Okay, one last Paschimottanasana Hastasana for real. From Tadasana, take your right arm from behind, hold your left bicep, and now your left hand comes from behind and holds your outer right arm. Pull with your hands. Those arms both back and down as you lift your chest up. Okay, back to Paschimottanasana. Okay, we had the right arm crossed first, so left arm, and then the right arm. Cross the other way. Hold the outside of your, right above your elbow joint. Strong legs, press the feet, pull the tailbone forward, press your thighs back, lift your chest. Okay, all this makes for everybody being able to get Gomukhasana. But if you think you might have any difficulty, you have your strap nearby. Let's do the prep. So the right arm comes up. Your left arm is going to help it. Pull that right arm back with your left arm and reach your hand down your back without bending your wrist. Reach up from this whole side body is reaching up. Okay, now keep that. Reach your left arm from behind. I'll show you this way. Behind. Don't let that left shoulder come forward. Keep it back. Grab your fingers. Grab your strap or your strap. You've got it right there. How are we doing? Don't let your chin drop. Are your legs still working? Lift your chest. Can you feel your shoulder blades moving more deeper into your back? All those things for Gomukhasana. Okay, release. Just Tadasana, arms at your sides. Now your left arm comes out. You can help to turn it. Turn it from outside to inside, inside to outside. Go up, bend. Your right arm can help it pull up and reach down your back. Stay there a few breaths. Okay, and now like you're gonna take Paschimottanasana like that, but now it's going up your back and you reach your hands. Keep drawing that right shoulder back. Lift your chest. Watch the hips dug, that they don't just go forward like this. Keep the hips, keeps the thighs back. Compact those hips. So if they're here, I'm gonna say they're probably not so compacted. It's really hard for me to bring my hips forward if they're compacted. Good. Okay. Everybody got into a really good Gomukhasana? That's an everyday pose. You do it 30 days for every day, and then it comes easily all the time. Okay. All right, now, Adho Mukha Svanasana, you get to do Adho Mukha Svanasana, but I want you to do it from our way forward Uttanasana. So it's gonna look something like this. I'm gonna go to the back of my mat. And my heels are gonna stay down. So it might be a little bit of a short dog for everybody. So I go forward. So I'm up on my fingertips. I look forward. I keep my heels down, thighs pressing back, and then I walk my hands maybe a little bit forward, keep the thighs pressing back. Oh, I maybe went 4 or 5 inches. I press down into the floor, reach up through my arms, reach up through the sides of the trunk. Press those top thighs well back. Lift your toes. Lift your toes to keep those heels down. Press your hands to lift your back up, to lift the back of the waist up. Shoulders back. All right. All right, and now just walk up and stand up. All right. So we've done some of this work before. There's a big push with the senior yoga teachers in the classes that I take there is an absolute demand to keep the back heel down. So we're just going to work through a few standing poses to work on keeping the back heel down. And how we're going to do that is like this. So I'll call this kind of a short lunge. The pose is Parsvottanasana. Maybe you should just watch first. So I'm turning my left heel, which is going to be my back foot, slightly out. Let me see, I probably need to go down a little. Let me go back with my camera. Still can't see the floor. What changed? Hold on. Ah. I'll move the sticky mat a little bit. Okay. There's some elements of that way forward Uttanasana in this type of the entry to Parshvottanasana. So I'm just going to step my right leg forward and my left leg back. The right heel intersects with the left instep, and I'm going to lunge. So you see it's kind of a high lunge, and I'm going to run into the bed. So I'm going to go slightly like this. Ha. I think, yeah, that's good. Okay, so you see I'm kind of in a high lunge. The idea here, folks, is to go forward with the trunk without letting that back heel come up and without letting this hip go out. Okay, so I have to press this foot, suck this hip in, press that back thigh back, and go forward. Now, if I think I've gone as far forward as I can, now I'm ready to suck this femur up to the hip socket, and you see my trunk is already on my leg, so it doesn't leave my leg. So I suck that thigh up, my hands are right at my feet, my trunk is where it's supposed to be. Lovely pose. Done that way, I'm telling you. Okay, got it? Kathy, any doubt? You can just keep your head up, but go forward. So you're taking your right leg forward, stepping your left leg back, and come into what's known as a high lunge. Oh, you could, if you can't, and spend some quality time here, guys. As far if you can't touch the floor, you could have your bricks. I only brought one brick, but you could have bricks here, and you're going forward. So you're maximally extending the front of the trunk forward. Okay, and I've got it all the way forward, and then I suck this thigh up into the socket and head down. How'd you do? Really press that back thigh back. Press that back heel back. Make the hips compact. And are you being honest with yourself? Really, you know, in order to keep that heel down, you have to hinge at the top of the ankle. Hinge at the top of the ankle. Elbows can bend to the side. Try to straighten both knees, Doug. I know you always do your best. Okay. And now just step your left leg forward. And be in Uttanasana. Feel how the backs of the thighs spread. I'm kind of pushing into the floor so I can get more of my trunk to go down. I kind of slightly push the hands forward, my elbows bend. I feel the spread of the back of the thighs. Okay, now I come up and I simply lunge the right leg back. So I call it a high lunge, high lunging. Now, with that back heel staying down, the front of that back thigh pressing strongly back, I extend my trunk forward. Pull yourself way forward. Hinge at that back heel, back ankle. Okay, and now as you simultaneously, as you straighten and suck up the left femur into the hip socket, the trunk goes down. Watch you. Mind on your back heel, back thigh, trunk down. Straighten your front leg, Bob. Pull it up, pull it up. Okay, Doug, you might look, to me, you look a teeny bit too wide. This is a shorter lunge. It's a shorter Parshvottanasana to work on the evenness of the hips, to work on the extension of the trunk. Okay, and now step the back leg up. Repeat your Uttanasana. And now inhale and come up. So we're going to use this same method of entry for Parivrtta Trikonasana. So just watch. Step the left leg back. I go into my high lunge. So I'm going to stay in that high lunge until I can get my left shoulder outside of the right knee. Can you see that? So I'm just working here. I'm holding, I'm not letting that heel come off the floor. And I'm just working, staying in that lunge and working to get that shoulder on around. Now watch, simultaneously, keeping the back heel down, I straighten the front leg. And my hand is flat on the floor. And I turn from my waist. Okay, so it's a really good method to work on the turning. Nice, Chaya. Did it work? Did the method work for you? Yeah. Stay in the lunge longer. Stay in the lunge and work the turn. Yeah, blocks are fine. Don't let the front leg hip go out. Keep pulling it up into the socket. Sneak your hand on the other side of that foot, Bob. Front, yes. Back heel, back thigh. Back heel down. Back thigh strong. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Turn the waist, look up at your top arm, hand, fingers. How much can you turn your back body to the furniture that's behind you? All right, and now just step the back leg up and strongly hang in Uttanasana, meaning the legs are strong, the trunk is releasing. Okay, just go ahead and come up. I'm going to turn around this way this time. Face the beautiful ocean. Step my left leg forward, my right leg back. Lunge. So you can see it's a shorter stance because I want to work on the turn and I want to work on how that heel stays back. This right thigh has to ground. So I'm still going forward, getting maximum extension. You can see how much this is still bent as I go forward. What can you learn in each stage of the pose? Okay, then I stay in that bent knee lunge, use my left hand to kind of stabilize the left thigh and bring the right shoulder, armpit on the outside of that front knee. Now while keeping the right heel down, I suck this left thigh up into the hip socket and turn. And there I go. Keep working on it. If you fall out of it, keep working on it. Hips compact. Think about the back leg more and more. Keep pressing it back. Turn your right side of your waist, right ribs towards that furniture in front of you. Back ribs towards the furniture behind you. Use the hand. Press the hand into the brick strongly and turn. and turn. Your hips have gone very crooked, Bob.
Oh.
How'd you do on that side, Doug? I didn't see you, but that's okay. Kathy, okay, now step the back leg up. Hang in your Uttanasana. Okay, now this time you get to take Adho Mukha Svanasana. So hands forward, walk back. Sorry, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I said Uttanasana. Press the floor, reach up through your arms, your shoulders, your side body. Pick up your toes, hinge at the heel, hinge at the front of the ankle more and more as the heel stays down. Push the floor. Reach your trunk up. Sternum to navel, navel to pubis, and so on. Okay. All right. Okay, walk up. One more standing pose. I'd say 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 10 times out of 10, that I do my classes with my senior teachers, we almost always do Virabhadrasana 1 for back bends. It really wakes up the spine, works on that maximum extension of the spine. But this is how I'd like for you to work on it today. I'm not sure which view is going to be the best. I'm going to show you from behind first. So if my right leg is forward and my left leg is back, my front leg hand is going to come to my buttock and help me turn the right buttock to the left, and also to draw the buttock towards the floor. So it's going to stay there. So I've showed you that. Now I got to turn around this way and show you the rest of it. Right leg forward, left leg back. Same hand as front leg. Comes around, and you know, you can use your shorts, whatever you've got. I'm turning the back side of the sacrum on the right. I'm moving it a little bit towards the left. Okay, now I'm starting my lunge, and the front hand is going to help just for a moment to bring that left hip forward. Ooh, okay, and now by hook or by crook, I turn the trunk so much as to grab the outside of the right thigh. My fist is still in my sacrum tailbone area, and I'm pushing it forward and down towards the floor. And I say, okay, that's all I got. Arms here, and arms here. Look up. Whew. I'm not so concerned about a complete, parallel with the front leg thigh, as I am you uplifting your trunk, keeping your chest lifted, enlivening the spine. Yeah, here you go. Any bend, maybe you could come to, 30 or 40 degree bend. But you're not letting, I forgot to mention this, you're not letting the back heel come up. Press the back thigh back. Keep your mind in that back heel. Right now, just step the left leg forward. Stand in Tadasana. So, there was lots of stages. There was the stage of pushing your fist into your sacrum tailbone area. There was the stage of crossing the front arm to the opposite outer thigh. Then there was that was 2. Third stage, Tadasana, arms. Fourth stage, up. So I want you to think about this. You know, this is don't start yet. My most senior teacher I work with, Chris Sadek, she said in class the other day, you know, she's really looked at these Zoom sessions as a way for her to teach us how to practice. So that's what I'm teaching you today. And I'd like to think that you can learn something in each stage. Don't be in a hurry in each stage. See what you can learn, see what you can work on in each stage. So step your right thigh back. We could even call this a stage, right? Okay, so now my left fist is in my sacrum tailbone area, and I'm pushing that left fist forward. So some of you, actually everybody's doing pretty well. Bob, don't go too far back, right? Don't go back like this, but keep your trunk right over your hips. Okay, now you start to bend, keeping your mind on that back heel and back thigh, staying back. Cross your right arm to the outside of the left thigh. Turn your trunk. Keep your trunk back. Don't let your trunk come forward. Keep it back. Now you've levelized your trunk as much as possible. Now arms like Tadasana on either side. Roll the shoulders back. Turn your palms out. And now reach your arms up. Keep pressing the right thigh back. For most of us, the right leg is stronger. Keep pressing that right thigh back. Hinge at that front of your ankle. Take it back. Deepen the creases, those little folds at the back ankle. And now reach your arms up. Reach and lift your chest strongly up. Good. Okay, unlunge, release your arms, step the legs forward. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward and walk back. Then watching Kathy in her Adho Mukha Svanasana, she's just keeping her head up, okay. Yeah, you could even have your hands on your chair, Kathy. You know, with the chair at the wall. Okay, we have to save some time for some back bends, right? So we have to do Shirshasana or Prasarita Padottanasana. Shirshasana, headstand. If you don't practice headstand, Kathy's definitely not practicing headstand. Let's see, Kathy, why don't you just do Upavishta Konasana and turn Parshva to the side. So that would be this one. And you're turning to each side. Legs spread wide. That way you're getting the same length that they're getting in their Shirshasana. So if you practice Shirshasana, you're doing Shirshasana. Your other variation is Prasarita Padottanasana. So legs wide. Kathy, you could put your chair at the wall and just do this one too. Chair at the wall, hands pressing into your chair. The rest of you who are not doing Shirshasana want to do Prasarita Padottanasana to get the same verticality of the head down. Reach your arms forward. And then walk the hands back. Crown of the head to the floor. Press your hands down. Lift your shoulders away from the ears, neck. Keep working on the legs. Prasarita Padottanasana, definitely a legs pose. Yeah. Roll the thighs in, both Sopo and Bob. Roll those thighs in, go up with the inner legs more. But do keep the outer legs firm. You could do that a couple times, Kathy. Bend your elbows, Chaya. Bend your elbows and pull with your hands. Pull your trunk closer to your legs. Pull. Your left leg doesn't seem to want to work as much as your right. Make it work. We call that the other leg. Mm-hmm. Let's go 30 more seconds here. The 2-inch Shirshasana. Make it a good last 30 seconds, pressing your forearms down, lifting your shoulders up, lifting the side body up, compacting the hips. Okay. All right, come down in control. Those are in Prasarita. Walk forward and bring your hands to your hips and lift yourself up on the strength of the legs. Strength of the legs. Okay. Sure you guys can see again. Nope. So the pose is Ustrasana. Ustrasana. Camel pose. I may have to go down here again. So, yeah, there you go. I'm going to put my folded blanket as they come off my shelf, like that. Everybody can do the prep. And then those of you who can't take your head back, you'll just repeat the prep. So I sit in Vajrasana with my, where those wrinkles are when you were, when you were doing downward dog, where all those wrinkles are. That's at the end of the blanket, and my feet are on the floor. Most of my feet are on the floor. I pull those hamstrings up towards the buttocks. Pull the hamstrings up towards the buttocks and sit. So here, I think you can learn something. If I ask you to push your shins down more, do you see that? So that when I do that, it kind of activates the back of the thigh. So I push those shins down, I keep that, and then I come up. Just bring your hands to your hips. Keep pressing the whole shin down, cutting that outer edge of the shin down, cutting the outer foot down. Hands at the hips. Look up. Lift your trunk up. Lift your chest up. Look up at the ceiling, roll the shoulders back. Remember when we were doing all the Baddha Hasta work, I said your elbows come together. Don't think so much that the elbows are coming together now as the elbows are going back. So instead of back together like this, they're going back. So you're upright, 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 and it's just your head and neck that's curving back. Or not, in Kathy's case. Nice. Sobo, there's, 2-inch rule, maybe. Not 5 or 6. Can you get your knees a little bit closer? If it pains you, then you have to tell me and I'll tell you what to do. If there's no pain, get your legs as, they can just be a couple inches apart. Okay, one more time. When you're down like this, push those shins down, come up by bringing the back of the thigh towards the front of the thigh and pulling the back of the thigh to the buttock crease. Inhale, go up, up, up. This time, turn your palms out and put the whole flat of the palm on the back of your buttocks. And lift up, lengthen, lengthen upwards. So the whole trunk is lifting up. Okay, take a break, sit down. Third time's the charm. So if that's all you can do, that's what you're gonna do. Otherwise, you can simultaneously try to reach both hands to both feet at the same time. I'm fine, and the time I did it a few times this morning already, but I had my hands on my buttocks, then I had my hands on my thighs, then I just reached the hands towards the feet. If you have something to press down into the hands, this pose will go a lot better. If you don't, you know, you can do this. You've got your bolsters, whatever. If you have something you can press the hands down into. If you can't reach your feet, this is fine for Ustrasana. All right, ready? From Vajrasana. Push your shins down, come up, bring your hands to your back fingers pointing down. Pull those hammies up to the buttock crease. Look up, lengthen upwards. Then I'm sliding down, simultaneously reaching my feet. Press the shins down, press the shins down. Go over. You could have the chair behind you even, Kathy, and just work on, or you could have the chair in front of you. All right, so that's your little warm up there. How are we doing on time? Ooh, okay. Come up. Get your chairs or couches. Hey, I was thinking I could even do this off the bed, but I'll use my chair. It's nice to have the feet near the wall. Okay, so I'm first doing neck curvature, then I'm going over a little bit more, whatever you can do. So this hamstring to buttock has to really work. You have to pull up that hamstring to the buttock and lift the buttocks, tailbone, sacrum, up and in. So here I am. It's kind of a odd shaped chair, so I'm going a little bit more towards the front of the chair. Neck curvature first.
If you have a normal chair, you just put your legs through the middle, right?
Yes, exactly. Normal chair, do chair Viparita Dandasana as normal. So here, I'm just working on that hamstring to buttock. If I kind of pick up my toes and pull my heels towards the chair, it activates this big time. I don't know if you can see that, but I pick up and I feel that hamstring to buttock connection. So now I'm going to try to curve the shoulder blades. First I come to about the middle of the shoulder blades, eventually coming to the end of the shoulder blades. Middle. Tuck and roll, use your sticky mat to help you tuck the shoulders under more. Pull your heels towards the chair. Lift those buttocks. Lift those buttocks. Maybe you stay 3 breaths per stage. What can you work on in each stage? Then I'm going to go to the end of my shoulder blades. Curve over the chair. Maybe my hands come to the floor. I'm gonna come up and watch you guys. Keep the knees bent. Yeah. Yeah, nice, Julia. Those of you who can, you're putting your hands flat on the floor, keeping your knees bent, keep pulling your heels closer into the chair, but arms behind you with the fingers pointing towards you, Bob. Arms way behind you with the fingers pointing towards you. Bend your knees and see if you can lift off your chair. So Julie, put your palms flat now. Palms flat, fingers towards you. And just little baby lifts. Yeah, press. Yeah. How about 4, 5, 6, something like that. Little baby lifts. Little Urdhva Dhanurasanas. Yeah, little lifts. Excellent. Got your head on the couch. That's good, Kathy. I can't see Doug's. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't feel comfortable taking your hands to the floor, you just work on moving those shoulder blades in and up. You work on the buttock thigh connection. You work on what you can work on. And I don't imagine Marcia wants to push up. So Marcia, just go to your elbows. Julia, you can repeat this now and go to your elbows. Sopo, you can go to your elbows. Bob, you can probably go to your elbows. Hands like Shirshasana now. Have a little bit of break if you came up. Don't twist, just be in upright like before we would do chair Bharadvajasana. So same stages. Neck curvature, middle of the shoulder blades, bottom of the shoulder blades, and you're reaching that front trunk over towards the arm side. And can you get your elbows to the floor? Yeah, Bob, you came off so much. You know, your shoulder blades should stay closer to the edge of the chair. Now curve, curve, lift, lift, lift. Yeah. Maybe you work with a strap underneath those chair legs and you grab the strap. Okay, Kathy, this is about all you can do. So I would switch to Janu Shirshasana, and we just have one more back bend. Janu Shirshasana and Triangamukha Ekapada. So that's Janu Shirshasana is this one, right? And you're just doing the concave. And then the Trianga is this one. Can you see? I'm not sitting on a blanket, but you definitely have you would have the hips raised. One leg in Virasana, one leg in Dandasana. All right, you have one more back bend in you. Now you get to come up, head back, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, and lift your back up. Get rid of your chair. Those of you who want to give it a try, if you're done with the back bends, you can do Upavishta Konasana and Parshva Upavishta Konasana and wait for us. Okay, if you are close, and you think, oh, I need a little bit of help, you could put your bolster here, the long ways, the vertical way, or a couple of blankets. But I'd like everybody to at least try. You may not get your head to the floor, but I bet you can at least get your buttocks up and get that hamstring to buttock connection. So I've got the wall behind me. Yeah, this is a good view. So stages. My head is maybe an inch away from the wall. The first thing I do is bend my knees and bring my heels in pretty close to the buttocks, toe in, heels out. That's one. Number two is I use the sticky mat to help me tuck and roll. So can you see that my chest, where my shoulder blades are already off the floor? Hopefully you can see that. Okay, now tuck and roll, chest is lifted. Now I lift the buttocks up. So I lift the buttocks up. I pull, it's like I'm pulling my heels closer towards me, this away. And I'm making this strong hamstring to buttock connection. Then I place the hands either flat on the wall or flat on the floor. I lift the buttocks, inhale, exhale, come to the crown of my head. I lift the buttocks some more. If this is all you can do, this is all you can do. Those of you who can, lift it. So pull your toes up and move your ankles closer towards you. And that activates the hamstring and the buttocks. Come down carefully, crown of the head, and then flat. All right. You saw the demo, hopefully. Your turn. Kathy, yeah. Now you're turning towards the straight leg, Kathy. All right, so did you first grab the heels, put the buttocks, heels and buttocks close in. Now grab your sticky mat and tuck and roll the shoulders under. So your chest, back of your chest is already off the floor. Okay, now reach your hands behind you. Place the hands on the wall or the floor. Palms as flat as you can get them. Fingers point towards you. You can go out 90. If your wrists are tight, you can turn the palms out 90 degrees. Don't let the fingers turn so much towards the head. Have them point straight back. Okay, keep the buttocks strong and lifted. Inhale. On the exhalation, come to the crown of your head. Nice. Lift the buttocks more and more. And now press your hands and come up. Heels out, Julia, toes in. Use the back of the leg, back of the thigh coming to the buttock flesh. Nice. Are you straight up, Sopo? Arms straight? Yeah. Okay, now always come down to the crown and come back down. All right. Those of you, there's just two of you. Well, Bob, I think Bob tried. You got one more in you? Okay, how do you know when to go again? When your breath is come back to a normal state. You're not huffing and puffing anymore. All right, try it if you're done. Janu Shirshasana. And Sopo and Julie, you got one more in you? Okay, so grab your heels, put them as close to the buttocks as possible, toes in, heels slightly wider. Okay, now grab the edge of the sticky mat, tuck and roll, tuck the shoulders under, tuck and tuck and tuck. Okay, now the chest is already lifted. Now the first job after the chest is lifted is to lift the buttocks, sacrum, and tailbone. Yeah, it's like you're scrubbing your heels closer to you. Buttocks firm. Now hands towards the ears, fingers point behind you. Press the floor and push straight up. Don't go forward or backwards. Go straight up. You're a puppet on a puppet string. Somebody's got a puppet at your navel, Julia, and pull that navel straight up. Navel straight up, Sopo. Good. Okay, if you did these two Urdhva Dhanurasanas, good for you. You can Gently hug the knees into the chest. Then put the feet on the floor, arms out to the sides, and take the legs to the right. Try to feel as though you're trying to get more of the left shoulder blade area on the floor as you bring and tuck the right one under you more, or towards the camera. And then bring the legs back up. Right yourself, make yourself even, and then exhale, take the legs to the left. Tuck yourself under a little bit more, so you're trying to get more of the right shoulder blade to get flatter on the floor. All right, and then come back up, roll to the right side. Sit back in your chair, everyone. I'm going to show you this from the side. So I'm turning to my right. Since I don't have a foam block, I'm just gonna, you could put a foam brick in between your knees, but I don't have one, so I'm just gonna belt my knees together so they just remain hip distance apart. It just keeps me honest there. Chair bar Bajasana. So I sit up straight and tall. Spread the backs of the thighs wide. Inhale, and I turn to my right. And at first, I've got a hold of the chair like this, right? You can see my elbows, and I'm pulling the elbows wide. And I lift my chest up. And then I say, okay, that's probably all I got there, but I got some more here. Now I reach that hand to that back corner of the chair and roll that right shoulder back more as I pull with the left arm, that trunk on around. Should feel really good. Lift your chest. Can't lift your chest enough. Look up even. Any neck issues, especially look up. Okay, and then come back around and lazy Susan yourself on around to the other side with your left side at the back of the chair. Sit up tall and straight. Inhale, exhale, grab both sides of your chair and pull your arms apart so you're spreading open, especially that area across your shoulder blades. Shoulders down, chest up. Keep your shoulders rolling back and down as the chest lifts up. If you can do a little bit more, reach that left hand on around to the side of your chair and open up that left shoulder a little bit more. Excellent, guys. Okay, do you have a blanket or something, like a blanket, a towel, whatever you might have? You sit a little bit forward of your chair. So it's just your buttocks on the chair, your thighs are off the chair. You're gonna roll your blanket a few times. Punch it down in the center. Lift your hip bones up and over. Reach forward as we did in all those uttanasanas. Reach forward. And then, can you grab any part of the underside of your chair? Yeah, and Kathy that's fine. You can even turn around and face the couch and put your forehead on the couch with a pillow or something. Does that feel good? Does anybody have a complaint about this one? Yeah. It makes the groins just become absolutely passive. Legs absolutely passive. Yeah, and if you don't punch that center part down, it does kind of, impede your abdomen from relaxing. So that's important. Oh. Let your head and neck go. Don't hold your head and neck up. If, in fact, any neck problems, you might have noticed I went a little wide with my arms. Okay, now when you come up, put your hands on your knees and come up gently. Okay. Can we just do Setu Bandha Sarvangasana with the brick? I have this for my shoulders and my neck. I have the brick on the ready. So what do? First, I bring the feet in close. I tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. Make sure that my C7 and the bulk of my shoulders are on my blanket. Then I lift up, tuck and roll some more. Pull the heels in. Now I got to get the brick up in there. Your choice, guys. This is the narrow sacrum way. This is the wide sacrum way. Your choice. You can hold the edges of the sticky mat. Keep lifting your chest, and it's circularizing back to front this way. Front of the trunk is coming up towards the shoulders. Back of the trunk is going towards the low back buttock area. If you want, don't have quite enough room, but I have to move a little bit. You may straighten the legs. If your shoulders become a little light, you can keep holding onto the edges of your sticky mat. Keep the tailbone, the sacrum lifting up and in. That's important. Tailbone, sacrum lifting up and in. Nice. Yeah, and if I see Chaya doing something, if it's too intense for you to straighten both legs at the same time, you can try extending one leg at a time. But Marcia, watch that the feet don't go flat, huh? Because then your legs aren't working. Yeah, toes up, roll the thighs in, pull the hamstrings to the buttocks, and keep the sacrum and tailbone well lifted. Next, just another 30 seconds there. Find out where you're working, where you're underworking. And can you find that nice blend of tapas? There's tapas. There's rajas. We have to find the blend. Okay, now bend your knees. Lift up off your brick. and then come down, and you can either use your blanket now for just your head, or you could put it on top of your thighs, kind of as a reminder that the thighs have to go down. Whatever is more comfortable for you. Lie in a straight line. You should be able to just glance, barely have to lift up your head, and you should see that you're in a straight line. Turn your arms out enough so that maybe the thumbs come towards the floor, and then let go. Let the body feel heavier and heavier and heavier until it feels light, like you're floating above your own self. Distance yourself from anything that went on before class, anything that has to go on after this class. And, be very selfish with this time in Shavasana. Try to keep your mind present. Maybe it's your breath you focus on. Maybe it's a favorite mantra that you might have. But be there, body, mind, soul, completely. Let go. Staying present. Not necessarily zoning out. Guruji said, and many times, but he said, Shavasana is a state of super consciousness, not subconsciousness. Know thyself. Scour yourself. The asanas fan the flame that keep that soul light forever lit. Now the asanas are done, and now we calm the physical body so we can find that light within. All right, to come out, don't be in any hurry to open your eyes. Most of you have lots of space around you. You're not gonna run into anything, so you fold the limbs in one at a time. Keep your eyes closed. Arms, then legs. Couple breaths there. If you feel the need for another forward bend, that's okay. You can bring your knees to your chest. Do so slowly. And then roll over to the right side. Extend your right arm underneath to support your head, or your blanket that you have there can also help. And then roll a little bit more towards that side. The eyes are still closed. Left hand pushes, right hand eventually comes, and then you sit up straight and tall. Honor your practice with just a moment of quietude, silence, stillness. Samastiti can be, kind of in any pose, state of calmness, stillness. Bring your hands to your heart. in gratitude for the practice and gratitude for the community that we have, all the teachers who've come before us. Namaste.